All right. Should get everything ready. All right. Looks like we are live. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Turn 4 podcast. This is season 2, episode 31. I'm your host, Daniel, and I'm here joined with the one and only Anthony Garcia. As you guys know, he is also known as Brendan Rubber on Instagram or on Twitter. I put his social medias in the description. Also, Mauricio as well. How's everything going?
Oh, it's going good, man. I'm still trying to recover from that good race that we had, bro, over the weekend at Bristol, man. Dang, it was crazy.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, that was really crazy, which we will be discussing about this also as well. But before we begin, Mauricio unfortunately could not make it this week, but he will be back the next weekend. So all I gotta say, it's Bristol, baby. That's all I gotta say. That's one thing I gotta say about Bristol last week. It definitely lived up to the value of the Bristol night races. The Bristol night races is definitely one of the races that I look forward to each and every year. But Anthony, starting with you, what was your overall main takeaway of this weekend at Bristol?
The takeaway, bro, honestly, man, they need to have this package, bro, every single race, man. Like this package right here just proved to be that we don't need no 550 horsepower package. All we need is, the 750. It makes for a good racing. You can actually see some, actual racing going on, some passes for the lead, passes in the mid, back in the field. And yeah, honestly, honestly, the race. We saw a little bit of the old Bristol and a little bit of the new Bristol, man. Early on we saw that old Bristol, but then as the track wore out and everything, we started to see like the new Bristol coming in. So we got the best of both Bristols, but the old and the new.
Oh man, I gotta say, this has to be probably one of the best Bristol races I've seen in a very long time. Like you did mention, watching that race kind of brought me back to some of the old races from Bristol in the early 2000s, before they ended up reconfiguring the track in 2007. But I gotta say, for me, this Bristol, I'm glad they didn't put the PJ1 compound. I was kind of skeptical, due to the fact that they put dirt on the track earlier this year and the fact that if it was going to affect some of the traction on that track, but it did not. But we saw a lot of battles for the lead. We saw Kyle Larson. We saw Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott. They were factors in this race. And, Kyle Larson was able to get the win, 6th win of the season. That officially locks him into the round of 12. And he was already locked in the week before. But the main topic of this race weekend was definitely the feud between Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. And Anthony, to asking you this, what were your overall thoughts on the feud with Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott and what went down?
I think it's great, man. Both drivers, bro, they had one thing in mind, and that was, go get the win at Bristol, especially for Kevin Harvick, man. He's been winless this whole season. I think it was like a whole year since, his last win. And then, we have Chase Elliott as well, trying to prove that he can go back to back with those championships. And yeah, man, it was those final laps were something else, bro. I don't think I've seen some really good, a really good battle for the win late at Bristol that I know of as of lately. But it put on a great race, man, and couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, I gotta say, definitely. I was kind of hoping they would. I remember watching both Harvick and Chase Elliott confront each other, and honestly, man, I was really hoping they would at least. I was waiting for someone to throw a punch, literally the whole entire time they were confronting each other. I was waiting for someone to throw a punch, but and in the same time, Kevin Harvick, him not taking his helmet off, that's kind of a sign of cowardness, in my opinion. I think honestly, if you're gonna fight someone, you got to take your helmet off, man.
I was I was waiting for some action, bro, but I guess they just they wanted to talk it out, but
I mean, they
Honest,
probably did. They probably did throw punches in the holler because I mean, I remember I think after the race though, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott they were still talking even after the competition that they showed. They were still in already inside close next to the haulers. They were still confronting each other, but until one of the I forgot his name.
uh,
One of the media people was recording and
uh,
Jordan
Jordan,
some
yeah,
yeah Jordan
Jordan
something.
Bianchi. I think it was like Jordan Bianchi or something like that.
Yeah, Jordan Bianchi, something like that. But
Yeah,
well, yeah, in the chat, if you guys know his name, let us know. But
yeah.
yeah, he was recording, and then I think Kevin Harvey pretty much they didn't like being recorded, so they just told him, hey, stop recording us. So pretty much they had to walk all the way to the holler to set it out. So I'm like thinking, man, they probably are throwing punches at each other in the holler, but I mean, there's two sides you can look at it. I mean, Chase Elliott, do I think he exaggerated the whole situation of what caused them to both confront each other? Yes, I do believe so. I mean, we've seen Chase Elliott at times be over aggressive. I mean, we saw it at the Bristol Spring Race from last season with him and Joey Logano, or we've seen it a few times with him and Ryan Blaney this season. Him and Ryan Blaney this season, at the Clash. I mean, wrecking wrecking each other for the win. And I gotta say, it kind of makes him sound like a hypocrite. Chase Elliott kind of exaggerating over an incident that didn't really have anything to do with Harvick intentionally wrecking him, or a similar incident to Martinsville in 2017. So in a way, I kind of do see Chase Elliott did exaggerate the whole situation. I don't hate Chase Elliott, but in my opinion, he did exaggerate what happened. I honestly, Harvick, yeah, he did make contact with Elliott, cutting a tire down, but I honestly don't. Honestly, Harvick didn't do nothing wrong. If my personal opinion, Harvick didn't do nothing wrong. He was racing hard for the win. I honestly feel Chase Elliott exaggerated the whole situation. I don't think I understand he was upset. But in the end of the day, it's hard racing. These drivers are going for the win. They're trying to battle for a playoff spot. They both have clinched their spot in the playoffs, but honestly, I would like to see this rivalry heat up more in the coming playoffs, but either it could heat up or I could probably see the rivalry just probably one of those type of rivalries where they had beef with each other for 2 weeks and then it fades away.
Yeah, I mean, also, I don't know if you heard, but I think Kevin Harvick signed the extension with SHR. So I think that's what it was, for like a multi deal or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
so yeah, he has to sign until 2023.
Yeah. So you never know, man. I mean, if it's not during the playoffs, it could certainly be next year, the year after that. Who knows, man?
Yeah, but overall, your thoughts? I mean, with the whole Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick, does it seem that Harvick was being too overly aggressive with Elliott, or do you kind of feel like it was just hard racing and Elliott probably might have exaggerated it?
Uh, I think it's a little bit of everything, man. I think it's just, first of all, it's we're at Bristol, so there's gonna be contact all the time. And then as well, you have like I said, you have Chase Elliott trying to prove, that he can go out there and back up his championship run that he had last year. And also you have Kevin Harvick, who's hungry for a win. He hasn't won in over a year now. So, and in his mind, he thought that was his best opportunity he's ever had to this point. To the whole season, to this point, he thought that was it. That was going to be his win after a whole year. Um, and so I think you can see uh, you can see where Chase is coming from. You can see where Kevin Harvick is coming from. But I mean, I do think Chase kind of, I mean, he kind of did, be a little over aggressive, you know. But at the end of the day, bro, like honestly, it's hard racing. It's gonna happen somehow. Um, and unfortunately, obviously, none of them won it. The win went to Kyle Larson, man, your boy won the
Yeah,
race.
he did.
Um, and yeah, man, I no matter what, this is a good story, a good headline going towards the playoffs. Because how you said, you never know. I mean, it could be a great rivalry, if we're gonna have it, we can have them both battle again next week at Las Vegas. So yeah, man, I think it was really hard racing, and I think they both just wanted to win real bad.
Yeah, totally agree. And also another thing to add on, I mean, with Kyle Larson, this is already his sixth checkered flag of the season that he's collected, and now he's kind of. I feel like this was one of those weekends where he kind of needed to make a statement. Considering the fact that we've seen Joe Gibbs Racing, the first two races of the playoffs, they were starting to peak when the playoffs have started, and you know, and we were talking about how pretty much it all comes down to who's hot at the right time. And Kyle Larson, I mean, he did have a great he was one of the top two, top three cars all night. But I feel that this was a statement win for Kyle Larson that kind of is a way that, like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still the favorite for this year's championship. And honestly, I think I wouldn't say he's still, I mean, I still think he's a title favorite, but in the same time, we could see him pull Kevin Harvick. I mean, we still need to get through the round of 12. He can have issues at Las Vegas and probably issues at Talladega, which will make it hard to advance, but I don't think it will due to all the playoff points he has accumulated. But now that we head into the round of 12, what are kind of your thoughts now? I mean, with the round of 12, and how do you think some of these drivers are approaching Vegas this weekend compared now that the second race will be Talladega, which will be a wild card race?
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, so I mean, they're gonna go straight to how I said about the package. They're gonna go back to the 550 horsepower package. That's one thing. The first three races they ran with the 750. So now it's gonna go back to the mile and a half, the 550 horsepower package. And I don't think that's necessarily Kevin's. How we talked about Kevin Harvick's strong suit at the mile and a half this year. He certainly struggled. Um, but I mean, you have two wild cards, with Talladega and then the Roval coming up after Vegas. So you never know, man. A lot of things can happen. You might have a surprise winner
Mhm.
coming Talladega or the Charlotte Roval. So we just gotta keep an eye out. But I don't know, man. I think those I think those Penske cars, the Fords, I think they're gonna struggle this round. I really feel like they are gonna struggle. Um, except for maybe Blaney. I think he has a good grip on the mile and a halves, but other than that, I think Logano and Keselowski and Harvick. I think those guys. I think they're gonna have a really rough round, especially at the Roval, man. Because Kevin Harvick, it's not from what we've seen, recently. He hasn't been performing good at the road courses, and then of course Talladega. Anything can happen, you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't count out Kyle Busch at Las Vegas, or especially since considering the fact that it's a 550 horsepower track and both of his wins this season have been at the 550. But I'm surprised with Kyle Busch this weekend. I mean, Kyle Busch, he finished 21st. We prior to this weekend at Bristol, we expected him to possibly score a win there or have a top five run, considering that Bristol has been his playground. He's had 8 wins there, most out of every active driver, but I don't see. I mostly saw it as the fact that the 550 tracks have been his bread and butter this season. Like you look at Richmond, he didn't have a strong performance there. Darlington didn't. We saw he got into the wall and that incident that happened, and then Bristol. I gotta say, I wouldn't be too concerned for Kyle Busch heading to the round of 12, considering the fact that Las Vegas is a 550 track, and both of his wins this season came in the 550 track.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it suits good for Joe Gibbs, also Hendrick, but you still have those Fords right there. I don't, and I don't think they performed how they want to. And I'm talking about Logano and Keselowski and Harvick. But everybody else, I mean, I think they should be fine. I think as long as the speed is there and everything, the car, handling good and all that, especially at a Talladega or at the Charlotte, road course. Um, yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking out for those Fords, especially this round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we have the playoff grid now, as the round of 12 has been set. So the 12 drivers that will be advancing to the round of 12 are Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and Kevin Harvick is inside the cutoff for the round of 12. So eliminated were Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch, and Michael McDowell. So now we're heading into the round of 12. Is there a driver who you feel that could be a concern, heading into the round of 12?
Um, I mean, obviously there's like for some reason I'm not sure, but I'm sticking with the Fords, man. Like I got I got Logano, Keselowski, Harvick. I'm watching them really closely for this round because first of all we got the mile and a half at Las Vegas, and Kevin Harvick hasn't really shown the speed at mile and a halves. And Logano sometimes he fades off. Same thing with his teammate Keselowski. But I mean, you see Blaney, he's won before, at mile and a half, and so I'm not really worried about Blaney. But yeah, I mean the Fords, with Logano, Keselowski, and Harvick, I'm watching them really closely, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't be too concerned for the Penske, and here's why. I mean, yeah, Las Vegas, they haven't had the speed, but after Las Vegas, they got Talladega. And Penske is very strong at Talladega. Those guys, the Penske guys know how to work together. Brad Keselowski won there early in the spring. Logano has won at Talladega 3 times. Ryan Blaney has won there before. Kevin Harvick has won there once, but he has not had recently he has not really been that great at Talladega, but I wouldn't still count out one of the Penske guys as eliminated because I mean Talladega is coming up and this has been their strong suit besides the 550 horsepower tracks or some of the short tracks this season. But overall this season it has been the super speedways that has continued to be their strong suit.
Yeah, and then also I mean you can as well put in Truex on there. He's with the super speedway coming up. He's never won at a super speedway before. He's come close to winning a super speedway before. And then of course we got at the Roval. I'm not really that worried about him. I think he was going to be the first ever winner to win at the Charlotte Roval before Jim Johnson dove in there too deep. But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Hendrick boys are going to be all right. But Talladega, I am worried. Because it is a wild card, and one mistake from somebody else can potentially ruin everybody's days, or mostly all the playoff drivers' days if they're not careful. So yeah, I mean Talladega is the wild card of this round. You can throw in at the Roval too, but Talladega is going to be the main one.
Yeah. Since you brought up Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, I could see all 4 of them advance to the round of 8, but the one that is least likely to advance is Alex Bowman. I mean, Alex Bowman, yeah, he has 3 wins, but he just has not shown that consistency, that constant top 10, top 5 finishing, contending for wins type of consistency. Because Alex Bowman this season, there's been moments where he's gotten lucky to get in victory lane, but then there's been moments where he's been inconsistent. So I would describe it as more of a hit or miss. But Alex Bowman, I mean, we've seen the past 2 seasons at the Charlotte Roval be at the cutoff races where he had to come in clutch to advance to the next round. You look at in 2019, him and Newman were battling for the last spot to make it to the round of 12. Ryan Newman made a mistake. Ryan Newman made a mistake and got into the how do you call it? The turtle shell, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turtle shell, jumped into the turtle shell and lost position. And that gave Alex Bowman the opportunity to advance to the round of 12. And then last season, he had to battle out against Kyle Busch to advance to the round of 8. So the Charlotte Roval, that has been Bowman's, that has been one of those races where he has had to come in clutch. But can he do it 3 years in a row? I don't know. Or will he safely advance to the round of 8? But I wouldn't be too concerned for the Hendrick drivers. I wouldn't be too concerned for Truex or Denny Hamlin. We also Denny Hamlin, he's got Talladega. We know how good he is at the super speedways, and he's last year he did lead the most laps at Las Vegas, so that's also that as well. And then the Charlotte Roval, he hasn't really had the best success, but with the amount of points he's accumulated that he currently has, the amount of playoff points, I think he should be good. But right now, top 3, I feel like they're safe.
Yeah, I think so too. I think coming into Vegas, the drivers below the cutoffs, I think what they got to do is just go head into Las Vegas and try to earn as many stage points as they can and just have a good finish. If they can go out there and win, that'd be, great, because they'll be advancing to the next round. But that way they have, some points collected through the Las Vegas race going to Talladega, because as soon as they hit Talladega, man, it's going to get wild, and you can for sure, count on at least one big one coming at Talladega, and you never know, it can destroy, drivers, hopes to advance into the next round. So for those 4 drivers below the cutoffs, I recommend, I'd say just go to Las Vegas, try to collect as many stage points and come out with a good finish.
Or get a win at Las Vegas. I mean,
yeah, or get a win.
Whoever wins Las Vegas, man, they're gonna have like a stress-free week heading into Talladega. Right. They're gonna be able to sleep good throughout the whole week leading to Talladega.
Whoever wins Las Vegas, they're the luckiest.
Yo,
the luckiest, bro. Right, the luckiest. Man. I ain't gonna say the other words, but the luckiest driver.
Yeah, they're gonna be the luckiest. But whoever's watching, if Mauricio's probably watching, he knows who we're referring to, though.
Ooh. Just don't tell Mauricio to let Kyle Busch not bring the pedigree car to Talladega, or else it's gonna get destroyed.
He might, but yeah. There's times we like to troll Mauricio when it comes to Kyle Busch, but
yeah.
But overall, Kyle Busch, I mean, he's an incredible driver. We respect the hell out of him. He's definitely a personality in the sport that NASCAR needs right now.
Yeah. And we need more of that, a lot more of that personality that Kyle Busch brings to the table, But
yeah, I remember growing up. I did not like Kyle Busch growing up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I certainly didn't like him either, growing up. But then over the years, once he started winning championships, I was like, yo, man, like this Kyle Busch right here, man, he's a heck of a talent, bro. Nobody can deny that, man.
No, yeah, you can't make him like that. And yeah, so that is the playoff standings. So let's see what else we need to get to. Any other stories? I think at the moment, no. But before we get to the pit stop round of the Turn 4 podcast, we'd like to give a shout out to our partners at Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Go check out Lionel Racing and collect any 164 or 124 scale diecast of your favorite race car driver, or collect any race versions. Check out your local retail store and collect any other classic NASCAR diecast. Check out for the new waves of NASCAR Authentics at your local Target and your local Walmart. So diecast I'm repping for this week's is Tony Stewart's 2010 Office Depot car. So this is by far one of my favorite Tony Stewart schemes. As a huge Tony Stewart fan, as I was growing up, this is definitely by far one of my favorite Office Depot schemes. And Anthony, is there any diecast you are repping for this week?
Oh, I wish, bro. I don't have any this week, but I am gonna soon. I will be having this one right here. The Exalta 24. William Byron. So I will be showing that soon.
But yeah, Mauricio doesn't have any diecast. He only has one diecast. So anyone who's watching, y'all want to send any diecast to Mauricio, y'all should. His birthday just happened last week, so
yeah.
His birthday just happened last week, so
he's still trying to recover, man.
Yeah, so this Turn 4 podcast is sponsored by Lionel, the official diecast of NASCAR, and check out any new releases of 164 and 124 scale diecast. So Now on to the pit stop round of the Turn 4 podcast. So here's what we got. Here's what we got in store. Martin Auto Color joins Jack Wood at Las Vegas. Nutrient Ag Solutions will not return to colleague racing in 2022. So I don't know what that means for colleague racing, if they're gonna have to reduce to 2 cars in Xfinity, or I have no idea, or what this means for Jeb Burton into next season, if he probably could go to the second colleague car in the Cup Series, or he's gonna have to find another ride. But Nutrient Ag Solutions was one of they've been sponsoring colleague racing for the past 3 seasons with Ross Chastain and Jeb Burton this season. So yeah. Big Machine Records will be sponsoring Sam Mayer and Junior Motorsports at Las Vegas this weekend. Josh Berry, once again, will be replacing Michael Annett at Las Vegas as he's still recovering from a leg injury. Honestly, I feel like Michael Annett should just sit out for the rest of the season, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, Josh Berry, no offense to Michael Annett, but honestly, Josh Berry has made that one car look better. I mean, he had a shot to get a win at Michigan, though, but it's good to see that Josh Berry is continuing to get these opportunities this season. He's definitely taking advantage of them, and yeah. All right, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will have a new logo heading into next season. Instead of red, it will be purple. So it's going to be interesting seeing purple banners on the Xfinity Series cars.
Yeah, that'll be a crazy change, man, from red to purple.
I like it. I love it. Yo, that means the championship stage is gonna be black and purple though. So
black and purple.
Yeah, all you.
I like the new colors too, man. Don't get me wrong. I like them too. I think I like it better than the ones they have currently right now, the red ones. So
it'd be dope if Ty Gibbs does run full time next season. Honestly, I would like to see him run instead of the regular Monster, but like the other Monster Energy flavors.
Yeah.
I think it's the Ultra Purple. Yeah, that's a purple Monster. Yeah. That would be dope, bro.
That'd be sick, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Monster Energy, I like to see Monster Energy do that instead of like have other days sponsored like the white Monster Energy or the blue Monster Energy or.
Yeah, I don't know why sponsors, that have, choices, I don't know why they just don't like, share, a few races, just,
True,
different.
I remember Mountain Dew used to do that with Chase Elliott or Junior at times. I think they run the Baja Blast ones.
Yeah.
The zero sugar one. But that'd be dope. All right. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Amy Earnhardt announced their partnership with Sugarland's distilling corporation. So that is for moonshine. So yeah. Rodney Childers signs contract extension with Stewart-Haas Racing for crew chief for Kevin Harvick. I think that's what you were probably referring to earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Harvick still has 2 more competitive years as long as Rodney Childers stays with him. Okay. All right, so update on if NASCAR fans have to pay to watch some races for the next TV deal, which will occur in 2025. So in 2024, the current TV deal we have with NBC and Fox will expire, and it's raised a lot of questions whether NASCAR is going to start streaming, how some other sports, how the NFL, NBA, how they have some of their games streamed on Hulu or on Netflix or on Amazon Prime. So there's been the statement where it says that for NASCAR, streaming is on the horizon, and SVP of Media and Productions, Brian Herbst, revealed that there will be some streaming element when the new rights deal comes into effect in 2025. That being said, potential fears about moving everything to a service might be unnecessary. So honestly, bringing this into discussion, though, I honestly feel that at this point, NASCAR has to start planning on streaming, because right now the days of television, radio, they're dying off. Not many people these days even watch TV, and especially now, like the Gen Xers, how they're so into TikTok, they're into on their phones a lot. So honestly, at this point, I feel like NASCAR has to start being in talks with Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus, you name it, at this point to really stream, because streaming is pretty much the new thing now. I got YouTube TV. Like, for example, for me, I got YouTube TV. So I know there's still boomers that complain about that they can't afford NBCSN or FS1. But for me, I got YouTube TV. So, I pay $45 a month for that. So I feel like NASCAR at this point has to start seeking streaming services in order for the races to be broadcasted, though, and that way NASCAR can kind of be more ahead of the game. And that's something that NASCAR's really been lacking. NASCAR has still kind of living in the past, living in those old days, and that's kind of what's held them back to attracting new fans of the sport. But Anthony, what are kind of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I would have hoped that they could have, probably ran a race or two, this year, or maybe, the next year, the year after that. That way they can, how you said, be ahead of the curve right here. Because yeah, I mean, if you look at it, TV and stuff, not a lot of people, are on TV now. Mostly everybody's on the streaming apps on their phones. So yeah, I mean, like I said, streaming up the streaming services, they're on the up and up. And the TV services are, just they're going down, man. So yeah, hopefully they get like a race or two soon. That way the fan base, the core fan base can, they can know ahead of time, be like, okay, this is what they're probably gonna do soon in the next couple of years, instead of NASCAR just throwing them, all of a sudden, like, oh, we're going streaming, we're gonna stream all these races on this stream or on this service. So yeah, I think, I mean, NASCAR is eventually gonna do that, I feel like. So, but when? I'm not sure. Hopefully, it's soon.
Yeah, I mean, they
So
got to do it now. I mean, because
yeah,
they got to do it as soon as possible at this point. I mean, because like, look at Fox and NBC. I mean, their deal started in 2015, but they have been in talks. They were in talks at that time around 2011 to 2012. So at this time, they're gonna have to start talking about it, because we're only 3 years away from the Fox and NBC contract to expire, which will expire at the end of 2024. And then with NBCSN being gone after this season and the rest of the races moving to USA Networks, at this point, because we don't know if Fox or NBC, we don't know if Fox and NBC are going to renew after the 2024 season. I mean, Fox, with everything they've been getting, all the costs they've been getting rid of, I remember back in the day, Fox used to have the Hollywood Hotel. Now they do the pre-race from their studio in Charlotte. Or now you see with Chris Myers, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, they do it from pit road, the pre-race. But NBCSN, there's a few things that can happen. Either they go to streaming services, either some races are on NBC, or some of the races are on Peacock. So I mean, because Peacock kind of has an affiliation with NBC, but I feel like NBC is more involved with motorsports at the moment. I mean, honestly, if you ask me who I think is better between Fox and NBC, I gotta say NBC. I feel like they're more in depth of what they're talking about, and then everything they're getting involved in. Peacock, how I said, they're kind of have that association with NBCSN. You look at, they have Lost Racetracks there with Dale Earnhardt Jr. or NASCAR America Motor Mounts, all the stuff they do there. And Fox, honestly, they haven't really. Some of the stuff they used to have back in the early 2000s, like you look at the Speed Channel, back then. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people who were watching the early 2000s remember that, how they used to have a trackside, race day, victory lane, but once they got rid of that, Fox kind of started going on a downfall.
Yeah, they also had I don't know if you remember this, but they also had a show. It was called NASCAR Showtime or something like that.
Oh,
Where they had Kyle Petty, Michael Waltrip, and eventually they had a couple guests coming in.
Brad Doherty was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, NASCAR Showtime. I remember that show too.
Yeah, that was radioactive back then, but the radioactive they used to have in Showtime, the Inside NASCAR. Yeah, I think it was called Inside NASCAR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, there was no explicits, man. You were straight up.
You were straight thrown into everything.
Yeah, bro.
Especially back then with Kyle Petty, man. He didn't really, Kyle Petty, man. Back then he was a lot more vocal. I feel like today he's still vocal, but he kind of tends to calm down. But back then, man, it was all out with him.
And we need more broadcasters that speak their minds,
Yeah. Also, the old Race Hub, bro, was the best race hub ever, bro. Like when they started that
Facts.
show, bro, with Jimmy Spencer with the crying towel was my favorite segment, bro.
Oh, facts, bro. Yes. Oh man.
And I miss those days, man.
What happened to Jimmy? Yo, what happened to Jimmy Spencer?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really in the loop with Jimmy Spencer.
I have no idea. Nah, but honestly, also what was interesting about Jimmy Spencer is that he also spoke his mind too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was very vocal. Yeah.
yeah, guys like Jimmy Spencer, Kyle Petty, Dave Despain. Remember Dave Despain on Wind Tunnel?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
spoke his mind too. I mean, especially now, I mean, not many drivers, I mean, not many analysts seem to speak their mind. There's some that are very, I'm not trying to, they're very kiss ass, excuse my language, but like Michael Waltrip, Michael Waltrip, he's one of those analysts, just defends everything, like if NASCAR couldn't do nothing wrong. But I mean, we don't really have that many analysts that speak their mind. And honestly, as much there's been times I might not agree with Kyle Petty. I mean, yeah, Kyle Petty was never I know he rode his dad's coattails. He never lived up to his dad's legacy. But Kyle Petty is definitely someone who knows a lot about the sport. And I mean, most of the time he's speaking facts, speaks his mind a lot. And we need more analysts that speak their mind, to be honest.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyle Petty, do you remember when he had the beef or the little rivalry with Denny Hamlin?
Oh, yeah, bro.
Back at I think it was Dover when they got together,
Yeah.
and I think it was like '07. I think. I
Yeah,
think
was
it
it
was
when he slapped
07.
his visor, helmet visor?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
When I think he was still racing at the time, Kyle Petty, and yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because that's funny, man. I still laugh about it when I see it on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yeah, still do, but yeah. Yeah, so all right, so next news. Tarleton will be sponsoring Kyle Larson at Las Vegas. Violet Defense joins Roush Fenway Racing for a multi-year partnership. They will be on the number 17 this weekend at Las Vegas, and they will be sponsoring the number 6 car until 2023. So at least we know what one of Keselowski's sponsors will be for next season. We don't know if it's going to be the primary sponsorship, but they will be sponsoring for a number of races. Bristol TV ratings. It is a 1.20 rating and 2.20 million viewers. Rating was down compared to last season, which was 1.24, but viewership went up compared to from 213 to 2.20. And Natural Light Vodka will be sponsoring Brian Priest at Las Vegas. And then there's 2 penalties handed out during post-race inspection at Bristol. Both the number 10 of Eric Almirola and the number 19 of Martin Truex Jr. So they were penalized for lug nut violations. Crew chief Mike Bugaradwicks, God, I can't even pronounce his last name. Bugaradwicks, I don't even know.
Yeah,
And crew chief James Small both were fined $10,000 for lug nut violations. And last but not least, Stephen Parsons will be driving full-time next season in the Xfinity Series for BJ McLeod Motorsports. All right. And that is the pit stop round of the Turn 4 podcast. So yeah, meanwhile, we have Las Vegas coming up this weekend. I will be going over the entry list for this weekend at Las Vegas. We'll be running at the South Point 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Sunday, September 26th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. East. West. No. God damn, I'm tweaking. Hold on, I'm tweaking. All right, Pacific Time. So 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 6:30 p.m. 6 p.m. Central Time, and 7 p.m. Central Time on whichever time zone you are in. All right, so now we're gonna go over the entry list for Las Vegas. All right, so here we are. So Quinn Half will be in the 00 Eagle Rock Wealth. Kurt Busch still has yet to announce his sponsorship for this weekend. Brad Keselowski still has yet to announce his sponsorship for this weekend. Austin Dillon will have BetMGM. Kevin Harvick will have Subway this weekend. Kyle Larson will have Tarleton. Ryan Newman will have Guaranteed Rate. Corey LaJoy will have Built Bar. Tyler Reddick will have Cat Trial 11 Hot Wheels. So I guess he's promoting Hot Wheels, I believe. Chase Elliott will have Napa Auto Parts. Eric Almirola will have Mobile One. Denny Hamlin will have FedEx Office. Ryan Blaney still has yet to announce his sponsorship for this weekend. Chase Briscoe will have one cure. Joey Gates will be in the 15 for Rick Rare Racing. It will be N Nevada Donate Life. Chris Buescher will have Violet Defense, as I mentioned earlier. Kyle Busch will have Eminem's Ethel M. So it's, I guess the paint scheme is similar to the one he'll be driving at Las Vegas this weekend. Martin Truex Jr. will have Best Pro Shops. Christopher Bell will have Sirius XM. Matt Benedetto will have Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Joey Logano will have Pennzoil, not the shell one, the yellow Pennzoil one. Bubba Wallace will have Dr. Pepper. William Byron will have Exalta / Service King. Michael McDowell will have CarParts.com. Ryan Preece will have Natural Light Vodka. Anthony Alfredo will have Dockside Logistics. Cole Custer will have Dixie Vodka Greyhound Cocktail. Ross Chastain will have Clover. Eric Jones will have Medallion Bank. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will have Kroger / Healthy Choice. Alex Bowman will have Ally. Cody Ware will be in the 51 for Rick Racing Nerdtech ODT. Josh Bilicki will be in the 52. Garrett Smithley will have Redline. JJ Yaley will have Fat Boy Ice Cream. That's a weird sponsor to have. Weird name. Justin Haley will have Nations Guard. BJ McLeod will have International Materials, and Daniel Suarez still has yet to announce his sponsorship for the 99. So that will do it for the entry list for this weekend at Las Vegas. So, all right, so we got Las Vegas, and now let's get on to our Truck Series picks. So, all right, so we got the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Friday. So, Anthony, let's start with you. Give us your picks for the Truck Series.
For my Truck Series picks, so we're doing the main pick, bold pick, and then non-playoff.
Yes.
All right. So for my main pick, I am gonna go with same guy, John Hunter Nemechek. And then for my bold pick, let's see, I'm actually I'm gonna go with Todd Gill. Is he right? Yeah, Todd Gilliland. And then for my non-playoff, I'm gonna go with Austin Hill.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for Trucks, main pick, he won here early in the spring. John Hunter Nemechek. Bold pick, I'm actually going with Zane Smith. And non-playoff, I'm actually going with Ryan Truex. So those are my picks for the Trucks. So Xfinity, Anthony.
Xfinity, I am going with Austin Cindric for my main pick. And then for my bold pick, I'm going to be going with Noah Gragson. And for my non-playoff pick, I'm going to go with Josh Berry. Is he racing?
Yeah, Josh Berry's racing this week.
I'm going to go with Josh Berry for my non-playoff.
All right, so my main pick for Xfinity, I think he's gonna start the playoffs hot, and it all comes down to peaking at the right time. So I think he will pull off the win this weekend. Main pick, I'm going with Justin Haley. I think Justin Haley's on a mission to prove that he can win on other tracks besides super speedways. So I think Justin Haley will pull off the win at Las Vegas. Bull pick, I'm actually going with someone who actually got a top 5 finish in the spring race of last season. Myatt Snyder. I could see a good run from him at Las Vegas. And non-playoff pick, I'm going with Ty Gibbs. So, yeah. All right, now we're into the Cup Series. So, Anthony, give us your Cup picks.
All right, for my Cup picks, for my main pick, I am going to go with your boy, Kyle Larson. He won here earlier this year, so I think he can get it done again. My bold pick, I'm gonna go with my boy Willie B. Byron, and then for my non-playoff pick, I'm gonna go with Kurt Busch. I think he's gonna rebound from last week at Bristol. I think he can go out there and contend for the win at Las Vegas.
Yeah. All right, so for my Cup Series main pick, so this driver though, his average finish this season at the 550 horsepower package track, he has an average finish of 3.78, and he's won twice with this package. I'm going main pick. I'm going with Kyle Busch. I say he's going to win at his hometown track this weekend and advance himself to the round of 8. Bull pick, I'm going with Chase Elliott. I think Chase Elliott, after what happened last week, I think he's definitely hungry. He'll be really hungry heading into this weekend at Las Vegas. And on playoff pick, I'm actually going to go with Matt Benedetto. You know, last year he almost had a shot at the win last season in the playoff race. So I think I could probably see Matt Benedetto probably having a top 5 run, maybe top 10, top 5 run, maybe contend for the win. Who knows? If it comes down to a strategy race like how it did in the fall, I could probably see Matt Benedetto being in contention. So that is our picks for Las Vegas. Since Mauricio was not here, I will say who his picks were. So Mauricio, for the truck series, he said his main pick was John Hunter Nemechek, bull pick was Sheldon Creed, and the non-playoff pick was Austin Hill. For the Xfinity series, his main pick was AJ Allmendinger. Bull pick, who did he say for his bull pick? Don't remember. Hold on. What did he say for his bull pick? I'm trying to find it. Shit. Well, he actually sent it to me on a voice message, but I'm trying to remember.
Oh, shit.
Hold
I'm
up.
gonna have to go with I'm gonna say
I'm trying to remember, bro. Who did he say? I'm still trying to remember.
What? Due to the huge momentum.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, bro. All right. So he said Daniel Hemrick as his bull pick. Non-playoff pick Ty Gibbs. Main pick Kyle Busch. Bull pick Kyle Larson, and the non-playoff pick Kurt Busch. I was trying to remember. I'm like, who did he say for his bull pick? Until I realized he said Daniel Hemrick. I was like, oh yeah, he is. But so yeah, those are his picks, and I think that should do it. That should wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for watching, for sticking your Tuesday afternoon with us. Watching the Turn 4 podcast definitely means a lot. Your support, the viewership that we get definitely means a lot to us. Check out my social media, Anthony's social media, and Mauricio's social media: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. I'll put their social media below if you want to follow them. Also, please support. We do have a few announcements that we do have to announce in the coming weeks. I'm in the process. I'm working on something that will improve this podcast, but stay tuned for that as well. Anthony, anything else you want to add on before we wrap it up?
I just want to say to everybody, if there's any viewers, thanks for sticking out these, this hour or so with us. And, so Daniel, you can go, you can subscribe to the Turn 4 podcast. And then also, you got all the social medias with Daniel, Mauricio, and me. So, yeah, I enjoy everybody's support. So hopefully, we can have this channel, bro. We can, grow it to where we wanted it to be. So, and I think we can get there. I'm really hopeful. So thanks for everybody that's watching.
Yeah, thank you everyone for the support, and we will see you all in next week's podcast.